My beloved soul, I greet you today with a message that will stir your heart and awaken your spirit. I want you to understand something very profound. The journey you are about to embark upon, this sacred path to marriage, is not as simple as it may appear. There is a test, a divine preparation, a trial of the spirit, the heart, and even your mind that stands before you. And it will shock you, not because it is cruel, but because it is necessary. You see, marriage is not merely a union of two people. It is the alignment of destinies, the fusion of life paths, and the fulfillment of divine purpose. God, in His infinite wisdom, does not let you walk into this sacred covenant unprepared. There is a test that will reveal not only who you are, but also the strength of your heart, the resilience of your soul, and the depth of your patience. Perhaps you think you are ready. Perhaps you believe your heart is strong enough, your faith unwavering, and your love unshakable. But my beloved, the test ahead is not about what you think you are ready for. It is about what God knows you must endure to step fully into your destiny. This test may come as a challenge in your personal life, a trial in your family, or even an obstacle in your career. It may test your patience, your loyalty, or even your faith in love itself. And it will come suddenly, in a way that shakes your very understanding of what it means to be prepared. But hear me, every shock, every surprise, every obstacle is a divine tool. It is God's way of refining you. It is God's way of ensuring that when you say "I do," you are not only ready in mind and heart, but also fortified in spirit. You may face misunderstandings. People may question your choices. Situations may arise that make you doubt your own path. But in the middle of this test, God is working. He is shaping you. He is revealing hidden strengths you never knew you had. And most importantly, He is preparing you to meet your soulmate, the one whose heart beats in rhythm with yours, in a union that is divinely sanctioned. I must tell you, the shock comes not to discourage you, but to awaken you. It comes to make you see the reality behind the fairy tale. It comes to test your faith, your patience, and your understanding that marriage is more than a ceremony. It is a covenant, a mission, and a sacred responsibility. So, I ask you now, are you willing to endure the test? Are you willing to rise above fear, doubt, and uncertainty? Because, my beloved, the moment you embrace the test, the moment you surrender to God's preparation, you will step into a marriage that is stronger than you ever imagined. You may wonder, what form will this test take? How will it arrive? It may appear as a conflict with someone you trust, a sudden challenge in your finances, a moment that threatens to shake your belief in love. And yet, even as it shocks you, it is precisely what you need. For in that moment, God is teaching you resilience, patience, and the ability to love unconditionally. I want you to understand this deeply. The shock you will face is not a punishment. It is a revelation. It is a mirror held up to your soul, showing you the areas that need growth, the spaces in your heart that need healing, and the corners of your mind that need clarity. This is the secret before marriage, the hidden truth that few are willing to speak of. The truth is that the path to a divine union is never without challenge. And the greater the shock, the greater the preparation, the greater the eventual joy that awaits you. Beloved, I invite you now to embrace this journey with courage, to welcome the tests, the surprises, and even the moments that shake you to your core. For each shock is a divine whisper, a gentle nudge from heaven saying, "Prepare yourself, for what awaits is beyond your imagination." As you move forward, keep your eyes fixed on the prize, a marriage that is sacred, joyful, and aligned with God's perfect plan. The test is not the end, it is only the beginning. And the lessons you learn now will shape not only your future marriage, but also your entire destiny. I need you to prepare your heart and mind for a revelation that may unsettle you. The test before your marriage is closer than you think, and it may shock you because it is unlike anything you have faced before. This test is not about trivial matters. It is about the foundation of your character, the depth of your patience, and the strength of your spirit. The first shock comes in the form of confrontation with yourself. Yes, before you can unite with your soulmate, you must face the parts of yourself that you have hidden, ignored, or denied. You will encounter moments where your pride will challenge your humility, where your fears will test your courage, and where your patience will be stretched to its limits. You may be surprised to realize that the person who needs transformation the most is you. This is the shock that many fail to anticipate. They think the trials come from outside, from circumstances or people, but the true challenge comes from within. You will find yourself questioning your choices, wondering if you are truly ready, and asking whether your love is sufficient for the journey ahead. This inner confrontation is meant to purify your intentions, to align your heart with the purpose of your marriage, and to ensure that when you finally stand before your soulmate, you do so as the person God intended you to be. The next phase of the test comes externally. In ways that will seem unexpected and at times unfair, you may experience delays, cancellations, or misunderstandings that shake your confidence. Relationships around you may falter, and those you thought would support you may falter themselves. Friends, family, even colleagues may not understand the path you are on. This shock tests your faith. It asks, do you trust the unseen hand of God even when circumstances appear chaotic? The test may also manifest in finances or opportunities. You may feel that your stability, your resources, or your plans are suddenly in question. You may find doors closing where you expected them to open, and opportunities disappearing where you had hope. It is in these moments, my beloved, that God is asking you to release control, to rely not on your own understanding, but on His guidance. The shock is necessary because it strips away reliance on the temporary and directs your heart to the eternal. One of the most profound aspects of this test is the test of your emotions. You will face moments of doubt, fear, and anxiety that challenge your belief in love itself. You may encounter situations where your patience is tested, where misunderstandings arise, or where your partner's actions provoke unexpected reactions. These moments are designed to strengthen your emotional resilience. They are the refining fires that will prepare your heart for a union that is not only romantic, but deeply rooted in spiritual alignment. Do not underestimate this test, for it is intricate. It will touch every aspect of your being, your faith, your hope, your love, and your endurance. And yet, as shocking as it may seem, it carries within it the promise of transformation. The purpose of this shock is not to break you, but to break through the illusions, the fears, and the limitations that may stand between you and the marriage God has prepared. Understand this clearly. The shock may come suddenly, but it is always deliberate. It is precise. It is calculated by divine wisdom to bring out the best in you, to refine your character, and to ensure that when you meet your partner, you do so as the strongest, most prepared, and most loving version of yourself. You may ask, how will I know I am passing the test? The answer lies not in avoiding challenges, but in how you respond to them. Every act of patience, every moment of faith, every choice to trust and love in the face of difficulty is a step forward. Each shock you endure is a lesson. Each trial is a teacher. And each challenge is a sign that you are on the path God has chosen for you. The test will not be easy. In fact, it will shock you precisely because it touches the very core of your being. It will challenge your expectations, test your faith, and confront your deepest fears. But my beloved, embrace it. Do not resist it, for in embracing the test, you embrace the transformation necessary for a marriage that is more than a ceremony. It is a divine covenant. The shock is real. The test is coming, but the triumph that awaits you on the other side is greater than anything you can imagine. Your heart will emerge stronger, your spirit brighter, and your love more profound. And when you finally stand before your soulmate, you will do so knowing that nothing could have prepared you better for the sacred union that lies ahead. My beloved soul, as we move deeper into this journey, I must warn you. The test before your marriage will reach a level that may shake the very foundation of your being. This is the stage where preparation becomes most intense, where the divine purpose behind every trial becomes unmistakable, and where the truth you will face may shock you to your core. The shock you will face now is not merely emotional or mental, it is spiritual, challenges your alignment with God's plan, and asks whether your faith is strong enough to withstand confusion, fear, and the unknown. This is the test of endurance. It is the test that separates fleeting readiness from true preparedness. First, let us speak of unexpected betrayals and misunderstandings. You may encounter situations where someone close to you acts in a way that seems disloyal, unjust, or incomprehensible. Perhaps a friend, a relative, or even someone you trusted implicitly may hurt you in ways you never anticipated. This is a shock because it forces you to confront the reality that not everyone will understand or support your path. But this is also a lesson in discernment and forgiveness. God uses these moments to teach you patience, humility, and the ability to love without expectation. Next, the test may present itself through conflicts with your partner even before marriage begins. Misunderstandings may arise. Differences that once seemed small could appear magnified. You may feel doubt, confusion, or even frustration. But this is intentional. It is God's way of teaching you the art of communication, the value of compromise, and the depth of unconditional love. The shock here lies in realizing that love is not always easy. It requires effort, understanding, and sometimes sacrifice. Another dimension of the test is personal trials that demand resilience. This could be a sudden financial challenge, a disruption in your career, or unexpected responsibilities that weigh heavily on your spirit. These shocks may feel unfair, as if life is conspiring against you. Yet, in truth, they are opportunities for growth. They are the crucible in which your strength, determination, and faith are forged. The shock lies not in the difficulty itself, but in the revelation that your inner resources are far greater than you imagined. My beloved, one of the most profound shocks comes from the awakening of truths about yourself. You may realize hidden fears, insecurities, or habits that need transformation. You may uncover patterns of thought or behavior that no longer serve you. And these revelations can be startling, but they are necessary. They are the mirror that God holds up, showing you the areas that require healing, cleansing, and preparation. Without this self-awareness, the sacred union you are preparing for cannot reach its full potential. And yet, amid all these shocks, there is a divine pattern. Every trial, every shock, every moment of uncertainty is orchestrated to refine you. It is meant to elevate you. It is meant to prepare your heart, your mind, and your spirit for the extraordinary blessing that awaits you in marriage. The key to navigating this stage of the test is faith in the unseen, patience in the uncertain, and trust in God's timing. You may not understand why certain things happen, and you may feel overwhelmed. But the shock is temporary. The preparation is permanent. The lessons you learn now will guide you through not only your marriage, but every challenge that life places before you. I must emphasize, the intensity of this test is a measure of the greatness of the blessing to come. The more profound the shock, the greater the alignment. the deeper the connection and the stronger the bond that will form between you and your soulmate. Take heart, my beloved. The storms you face now are not signs of failure, but of preparation. The confusion, the doubt, and even the pain are all part of the sacred process. Each trial strengthens your character, sharpens your perception, and purifies your intentions. By enduring and embracing these shocks, you are stepping into a marriage that is resilient, enduring, and divinely guided. Remember, the test is not designed to destroy you. It is designed to awaken you, to show you the areas that need growth, the truths that need acknowledgement, and the strength that must be cultivated. It is the divine prelude to the sacred union that will define your life, your love, and your destiny. Know that the shock you have experienced is the proof of your readiness. It is the final call to trust, to surrender, and to embrace the extraordinary marriage that awaits. The lessons you have learned, the resilience you have built, and the faith you have strengthened will ensure that when you finally step into your union, you do so with confidence, clarity, and divine alignment. My beloved soul, you have journeyed through the trials, faced the shocks, and endured the intense tests that stand before your marriage. Now it is time to witness the culmination of all that preparation, the triumph, the awakening, and the sacred union that awaits you. The final stage of the test is subtle but profound. It is the moment where you realize that every challenge, every shock, every trial was not a punishment but a divine preparation. It is the moment where understanding replaces doubt, patience replaces fear, and faith replaces uncertainty. This is the threshold of your marriage, and crossing it is both exhilarating and transformative. First, recognize the victory within yourself. The person you are now is stronger, wiser, and more resilient than you were before the test began. The shocks you endured, betrayals, conflicts, personal trials, self-revelations, were all instruments of growth. They were designed to mold you into a partner capable of sustaining a love that is deep, enduring, and divinely aligned. Next, understand the blessing of perspective. What once seemed impossible, unfair, or overwhelming now reveals itself as necessary. The trials were not obstacles to stop you, but stepping stones that elevated you. Every shock was a divine teacher, showing you patience, humility, forgiveness, and love that transcends the ordinary. Now, you are ready to enter marriage not just as two people in love, but as two souls prepared to walk together in alignment with God's perfect plan. As you approach your marriage, embrace the truth that this union is a divine covenant. It is not merely a ceremony or a celebration. It is a spiritual alignment, a merging of destinies, and the fulfillment of promises written long before your birth. The tests you faced were the refining fires, ensuring that when you meet your soulmate, you meet them as the person God intended you to be, whole, prepared, and radiant with divine purpose. You will find that the final shock, if there is one, is not a challenge but a revelation. It is the moment when you see the depth of love that awaits you, the resilience that has been forged, and the beauty of a heart fully aligned with God's will. This revelation will stun you, not because it is frightening, but because it is awe-inspiring. The blessing is greater than the trials, the joy deeper than the shocks, and the love more profound than you ever imagined. In this moment, my beloved, surrender fully to the divine plan. Step into your marriage with confidence, knowing that you have been tested, refined, and prepared. Walk hand in hand with your soulmate, carrying the lessons of patience, faith, and resilience. Let the shocks of the past serve as reminders of your strength and the depth of your preparation. Remember, marriage is not the end of the journey. It is the beginning of a new chapter. The foundation built through trials and divine tests will support a lifetime of love, partnership, and shared purpose. What once shocked you will now become your testimony. What once tested you will now become your strength. What once challenged you will now be the proof of God's perfect timing and wisdom. Take a deep, steady breath and feel the power of the transformation within you. You have endured, you have grown, and you have emerged victorious. Your heart is ready, your spirit is aligned, and your love is prepared for a union that is sacred, enduring, and blessed beyond measure. Go forward with courage. Go forward with faith. Go forward knowing that the tests before your marriage were only steps to elevate you to a union of unparalleled depth and divine significance. The shocks you faced were necessary, the trials essential, and the preparation complete. Now embrace your marriage with gratitude, joy, and unwavering trust in the divine plan. Step into the love that has been waiting for you, the union that has been designed in heaven, and the life that has been ordained for you. Your marriage is not just a celebration of love. It is a triumph of faith, resilience, and divine purpose. Rejoice, for the test is over, the lessons learned, and the union ready. What once shocked you will now be the foundation of your greatest joy, your deepest love, and your eternal fulfillment.